Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to the second episode now of Reading Verbatim, a series where I'm just taking some stuff off my shelf that's inspired me and educated me over the years to all sorts of crazy different topics and just sharing it with you guys. Today's selection is going to be coming from a book that I think I just drunkenly stumbled to the bookstore once upon a time, like 5 or 6 years ago, and picked this up. The book is called 80 2000, a book about the end of time, by Renee Norbergen. And essentially, it's a book of apocalyptic prophecies and what people have said in regards to what's going to happen, different visions of revelation, be they psychedelic or supernatural or cosmic or whatever have you. There's a mixture of variety of different things, but the one I want to focus on today, that's always been the main one that I always come back into in the book, is the seemingly psychedelic revelation of George Washington. And I'm just going to get into this one. This is a really fun one. So here we go. In probing the past for evidences of supernatural guidance in world affairs, one can even find its marks in the time period surrounding the birth of the United States. A story that recalls one such incident first appeared quite vividly in the National Tribune of December 1880, and it will have to be included here because of its relevance. Reprinted in the Stars and Stripes issue of December 21st, 1950, it is a stirring account of a vision revealed to George Washington concerning the future development of the United States and the end of time. While many critics would prefer to relegate the story to the realms of fantasy, others believing that the birth of the United States and its historical development was in direct fulfillment of biblical prophecy see in it a warning for the future. The last time I ever saw Anthony Sherman was on the 4th of July, 1859 in Independence Square, writes Wesley Bradshaw, publisher of the National Tribune. He was then 99 years old and becoming very feeble. But though so old, his dimming eyes rekindled as he gazed upon Independence Hall, which he had come to visit once more. "Let's go into the hall," he said. "I want to tell you of an incident in Washington's life, one which no one alive knows of but myself, and, if you live, you will before long see it verified. Mark the prediction. You will see it verified." This is Sherman's tale as Bradshaw recorded it. From the opening of the Revolution, we experienced all phases of fortune, now good and now ill, one time victorious and another conquered. The darkest period we had, I think, was when Washington, after several reverses, retreated to Valley Forge, where he resolved to pass the winter of 1777. I have often seen the tears coursing down our dear commander's careworn cheeks as he would be conversing with the confidential officer about the condition of his poor soldiers. You have doubtless heard the story of Washington going to the thicket to pray. Well, it was not only true, but he used to pray in secret for aid and for comfort. One day, I remember it well, the chilly winds whispered through the leafless trees, though the sky was cloudless and the sun shone brightly. He remained in his quarters nearly all the afternoon, alone. When he came out, I noticed that his face was a shade paler than usual, and there seemed to be something on his mind of more than ordinary importance. Returning just after dusk, he dispatched an orderly to the quarters of an officer who was presently in attendance. After a preliminary conversation of about half an hour, Washington, gazing upon his companion with that strange look of dignity which he alone could only command, said to the latter, "I do not know whether it is owing to the anxiety of my mind, or what, but this afternoon, as I was sitting at this table, engaged in preparing a dispatch, something in the apartment seemed to disturb me. Looking up, I beheld standing opposite me a singularly beautiful being. So astonished was I, for I had given strict orders not to be disturbed, that it was some moments before I found language to inquire the cause of the visit. A second, a third, and even a fourth time did I repeat the question, but received no answer from my mysterious visitor except a slight raising of the eyes. By this time, I felt strange sensations spreading over me. I would have risen, but the riveted gaze of the being before me rendered volition impossible. I essayed once more to speak, but my tongue had become useless, as if paralyzed. A new influence, mysterious, potent, irresistible, took possession of me. All I could do was gaze steadily, vacantly, at my unknown visitor. Gradually, the surrounding atmosphere seemed to fill with sensations and grew luminous. Everything about me seemed to rarefy, the mysterious visitor also becoming more airy and yet more distinct to my eyes than ever before. I began to feel as one dying, or rather to experience the sensations which I have sometimes imagined accompany death. I did not think. I did not reason. I did not move. All were alike impossible. I was only conscious of gazing fixedly, vacantly at my companion. Presently I heard a voice saying, "Son of the Republic, look and learn," while at the same time my visitor extended an arm earthward. I now beheld a heavy white vapor at some distance rising fold upon fold. This gradually dissipated, and I looked upon a strange scene. Before me lay, spread out in one vast plain, all the countries of the world: Europe, Asia, Africa, and America. I saw rolling and tossing between Europe and America the billows of the Atlantic, and between Asia and America lay the Pacific. "Son of the Republic," said the same mysterious voice as before, "look and learn." At that moment I beheld a dark, shadowy being like an angel, standing, or rather floating in midair between Europe and America. Dipping water out of the ocean in the hollow of each hand, he sprinkled some upon America with his right hand, while with his left he cast some over Europe. Immediately a cloud arose from these countries and joined in mid-ocean. For a while it seemed stationary, and then it moved slowly westward until it enveloped America in its murky folds. Sharp flashes of lightning gleamed through it at the intervals, and I heard the smothering groans and cries of the American people. A second time, the angel dipped from the ocean and sprinkled it out as before. The dark cloud was then drawn back to the ocean, in whose heaving billows it sank from view. A third time I heard the mysterious voice saying, "Son of the Republic, look and learn." I cast my eyes upon America and beheld villages and towns and cities springing up one after another until the whole land from the Atlantic to the Pacific was dotted with them. Again I heard the mysterious voice saying, "Son of the Republic, the end of the century cometh. Look and learn." And this time the dark, shadowy angel turned his face southward. From Africa I saw an ill-omened spectre approach our land. It flitted slowly and heavily over every town and city of the latter. The inhabitants presently set themselves in battle array against each other. As I continued looking, I saw a bright angel on whose brow rested a crown of light on which was traced the word Union. He was bearing the American flag. He placed the flag between the divided nation and said, "Remember, ye are brethren." Instantly, the inhabitants, casting down their weapons, became friends once more and united around the national standard. Again I heard the mysterious voice saying, "Son of the Republic, look and learn." At this, the dark, shadowy angel placed a trumpet to his mouth and blew 3 distinct blasts, and taking water from the ocean, he sprinkled it upon Europe, Asia, and Africa. Then my eyes beheld a fearful scene. From each of these continents arose thick black clouds that were soon joined into one. And through this mass there gleamed a dark red light, by which I saw hordes of armed men. These men, moving with the cloud, marched by land and sailed by sea to America, which country was enveloped in the volume of the cloud. And I dimly saw these armies devastate the whole country and burn the villages, towns, and cities which I had seen springing up before. As my eyes listened to the thundering of the cannon, the clashing of the swords, and the shouts and cries of millions in mortal combat, I again heard the mysterious voice saying, "Son of the Republic, look and learn." When this voice had ceased, the dark, shadowy angel placed his trumpet once more to his mouth and blew a long, fearful blast. Instantly, a light as if 1,000 suns shone down from above me and pierced and broke into the fragments of the dark cloud which enveloped America. At the same moment, the angel upon whose head was still shown the words Union, and who bore our national flag in one hand and a sword in the other, descended from the heavens, attended by a legion of white spirits. These immediately joined the inhabitants of America, who I perceive were well nigh overcome, but who immediately, taking courage once again, closed up their broken ranks and renewed the battle. Again, amid the fearful noises of the conflict, I heard the mysterious voice saying, "Son of the Republic, look and learn." As the voice ceased, the shadowy angel for the last time dipped water from the ocean and sprinkled it upon America. Instantly, the dark cloud rolled back, together with the armies it had brought, leaving the inhabitants of the land victorious. Then once more I beheld the villages, towns, and cities springing up where I had seen them before, and while the bright angel planting the azure standard had brought from the midst of them, cried, and with a loud voice, "While the stars remain, and the heavens send down dew upon the earth, so long shall the Union last." And taking from his brow the crown on which blazoned the word Union, he placed it upon the standard, while the people kneeling down said, "Amen." The scene instantly began to fade and dissolve, and I at last saw nothing but the rising, curling vapor I at first beheld. This also disappeared, and I found myself once more gazing upon the mysterious visitor who, in the same voice I had heard before, said, "Son of the Republic, what you have seen is thus interpreted. 3 great perils will come upon the Republic. The most fearful for her is the third, but the whole world united shall not prevail against her. Let every child of the Republic learn to live for his God, his land, and his Union." Peace and love, y'all.